Libra, hello and welcome to my channel. This is going to be your 5-card tarot card overall energy reading for February 16th through the 28th of 2021. It is a general reading. It's meant for the larger collective of Libras. The information it may not resonate with all Libras, of course. Please take what fits and let the rest go. If you're not familiar with what a 5-card tarot card reading is, please look at the description below. It will give you a little bit more detail of each of the 5 cards and what the purpose is and what the energies are that the reading is about. And first and second, I guess, whatever, I just also let you thank you for watching the video, and please help me with the YouTube algorithms. Still relatively a new channel since June of 2020, and YouTube relies a lot on some algorithms, which is basically like the video, and subscribe to the channel, leave a comment if anything resonates with you, of course, that's wonderful, and share it with others and hit the reminder buttons. Those are all things that you can do to help support the channel if you are so inclined, and if you're already doing that, great, thank you so very much. So let's get started here. We have here for February in our 5 cards that basically the 5 cards have to do with, the first one is your past influences. The second card is your present energy right now that's going on during this time frame. The third card has to do with your future energies, things that are going on within the cusp, or right around the corner that may be affecting the larger collective. And then we have the fourth card is challenges, and challenges do not mean necessary problems. They're usually presented as sort of choices that are presenting to you during this time frame, and of course you have free will to make your choices. And then the fifth card basically is the outcome energies. This has to do with the energy that things are coming to a resolution or a closure for you. So with that, we're going to get started here. I've already shuffled the cards just to save time, and the cards that were ejected on their own during the shuffle, and they're already up here. So we're going to start with our past influences for Libra, and this is going to be for the present time frame of the February 16th through the 28th of 2021. And your past influences has to do with energies that are anytime between the overall energy for the collective of Libra between the last 30 days, even up to the last 6 months. And that energy may still be resonating, and if it is, it's lingering, or it could have been resolved in any case. So the first card that we have here that popped up was a major arcana card, and it is the Tower card. You can see right there. Good. So with that, angel and spirit guides, please help us understand what is why the Tower card is showing up here in the past influences for our Libras during this time frame, please. Okay. So, Libra, the overall energy that I'm picking up here with the Tower card is that for many Libras, you probably experience some sort of massive change, an upheaval, some sort of, it could be in destruction or chaos. The Tower card really represents some sort of major issue, such as a divorce, a death of a loved one, financial failures, health problems, natural disasters, job loss. Of course, with COVID-19, any of those things could have occurred in the last 6 months. But it's basically an energy that shakes you to your core, and it's affecting you spiritually, mentally, and physically. And basically, there's no escape from it. It's a change, and it's the universe's way of sort of forcing you to address something that you're not addressing, and it creates chaos. It can destroy everything in its path, but you have to understand, and you have to have the faith that it's for your highest good. And when a tarot card basically comes into impact of you, it means that you are solely not dealing with something, or you've been postponing something that is not in your highest good. So it sort of forces you to address an issue or issues, and sometimes they can be very painful, and they can be not necessarily understood at the time, but you have to trust that it's happening for a reason, and it's usually happening because one, you're not dealing with it on your or you're taking your time, and the universe is sort of just shaking things up for you. So, you have to sort of understand that just when you're sort of, many Libras are probably feeling very safe and comfortable at some point. And when the Tower moment sort of happens in your past influences, it can throw you for a loop. It can bring about that lightning bolt of clarity, and it brings insight, and it cuts through the lies and illusions that you're telling yourself, and the truth comes to light, and that's the key for why this happens. Yes, your world can be crashing down on you, and in ways perhaps you never even imagined. But you realize that you've been building your life typically on some sort of unstable foundation, or a false assumption, or a mistruth, illusion, lies, and so on. It's about something, not your overall life, but something that's affecting you. And whether it's a relationship or a job that you're unhappy with, or whatever it is, it's some sort of transition. It's pushing you forward and keeping you back. So, even if even if you thought everything was true and going great, there's usually something that's deep down that isn't working for you. And so what this is intended to do in your past influences is that for many, the collective of Libras, we were probably sort of questioning what was real and what was not. What could you rely on, and who can you trust and who can you not? It often can be very confusing and disorienting, especially if it affects your core beliefs about something, about a relationship that you thought was a lifetime or whatever else. But over time, Libras, you're going to come to understand, if you haven't already, that whatever this issue that needed addressing was typically built on some sort of false understanding, and the Tower moment is in your past influences was created to sort of bring a new belief system forward for you, and really to bring it towards a reality of what the situation is, and of course then you have to decide how you're going to handle it. So again, this is something that could have happened anytime within the past 6 months, and what mostly happens with this, Libras, is that after a Tower moment, you're going to grow. You may, if you're still feeling the effects of that, keep in mind that the intention is you're going to grow stronger, you're going to go wiser, you're going to be more resilient, as you develop this new perspective, before you had. And these moments are necessary for your spiritual growth and your own enlightenment. So the truth and honesty is going to bring about a lot of positive change for you. And even if you have to experience some pain and anxiety throughout the process, you have to look at it as a learning process, and it's about bringing your inner self to your highest capability that you want to be. Um, Keep it on something else, though. I've noted that's coming up here is that the Tower moment doesn't necessarily have to be a total destruction. For it could have been for some Libras, but for some Libras, it could have been just a minor thing. So if you were already sort of in tune to yourself, and you had already made all the changes that you needed to change, and everything was going good for you on every level, the Tower moment may not have been as sort of destructive as it could have been. And it doesn't necessarily mean, in this case, for some Libras, it wasn't necessarily pain and turmoil. And this is because if you are already highly aware and in tune with your inner guidance system, then when the tarot card shows up for your past influences of the Tower, it really is it's more about a spiritual awakening and helping you understand a revelation. And it prevented it from perhaps becoming such a drastic Tower moment or destructive moment, because, for instance, you might have been able to see the cracks in the sidewalk, or you could have seen before something gets too bad, you took steps to correct it or to fix it, or you made the right decisions before it got out of hand. So you used it before it became, and that's sort of the two sides of the Tower moment. It's total destruction because you weren't doing anything about it, or it was on the cusp of something happened, but you took the steps to address it so it didn't become so drastic. I hope that makes sense. But you have to see, Libras, that in your past influences, for any sort of major change that you sort of had to reassess or rethink about or replan or whatever, you have to understand that the Tower card is an opportunity to break free from old ways of thinking that have been holding you back. that was the intent of your past influences. In your present energy, we have the Seven of Wands. See the reflection there? So, angel and spirit guides, please help us understand why the Seven of Wands is here for our Libras in their present, current energy, please. Okay. All right. Well, what we have here, and it's in the upper position, of course, for Libras in your present energy for the collective, this is about if you have felt that you were challenged by others, or you might be experiencing some sort of the best word I can think is some sort of challenge right now where you feel you know people are jealous about, or someone that you know is jealous about what you have, or where you're going, or what you've accomplished, and you might have experience right now that's, perhaps someone is wanting to covet what you've worked for very hard for, and you may be thinking that it's flattery that people are recognizing whatever it is that you accomplished. And this could be something as you have a great relationship right now, or you have a great job right now, or you were able to change your work hours, and you can have 3 days off a week, or work from home, or whatever else. It doesn't really matter what the successes that you have accomplished or that you have, Libra. It's just I'm picking up the energy that someone that or someone's co-workers, friends, whoever, family, are feeling a little bit jealous about what it is that you have, and you might be feeling that injury, not injury, that energy from them. So it also could be where something that you're just trying to improve yourself, and that could be simply as perhaps you decided to quit smoking, or you're not drinking liquor anymore, or you're exercising more, or just anything that you are doing to sort of improve yourself. And whoever is closest to you is definitely I'm picking the energy as someone's just not happy with that sort of change right now, and I'm picking up that if you haven't felt it, you're going to be feeling it a little bit, even if it's not a blatant sort of understanding. You're feeling that energy. So you have to understand, though, Libras, that it is a sad fact of life that the more visible you become as a leader, either in your work or a leader of change in your personal life, the more changes you make, and the more people who see the changes. Sometimes people don't get it, and they can be jealous, or they can be envious of whatever it is that you're accomplishing for yourself, professionally or personally. So you have to understand that that as long as you are secure in what it is that you're doing, and as long as you're doing it for the better good and for your own higher good, and you're not stepping on people's toes deliberately to get what it is that you want, you have to sort of see what I would call these sort of haters or trolls, or people who are wanting to bring you back or bring you down. And it could also be a relationship that perhaps you're doing something, and your partner is feeling threatened of this change. As long as you're doing it for the right reasons, and you're not doing it to hurt anybody, it's important that you secure your territory and stand up for what you stand for. So the Seven of Wands here in your present energy for the collective of Libra is what I'm picking up is, even if you hold a contentious sort of point of view, or you have an opinion on something that you have expressed, as long as you can justify that opinion and you have the facts to back it up, stand by whatever it is that you're doing. And it's that type of energy. Now, that's the key here, is that as long as you are standing by what it is that you are doing, and as long as you are doing it for the right reasons, and as long as you are doing it to better yourself, or the higher good of yourself, then if someone's challenging that, then stand by it, fight for it, guard your territory, keep your boundaries. However, the energy on the other side of the coin here is that if you are doing it for the wrong reasons, or you deliberately or unintentionally stepped on someone's toes, or you didn't give someone credit for something or whatever else, then you need to address that as well, because if it's the other side of the coin, that is what you want to worry about. If you've done something that was intentional or non-intentional, that isn't that might have hurt some other people or took credit for something or whatever else, then you need to address that, because that's the universe's way of sort of saying you need to make things right. However, other side of coin, if you did everything right and you did everything for the highest good, and you did the best that you could with it, and you haven't deliberately or unintentionally hurt anybody, then stand by it. And that energy means that then let the naysayers or the haters just don't even pay them any attention. So that's the two sides of this current energy of what the Seven of Wands is occurring right now. So, again, if you're feeling that there's some sort of threat or opposition, even if you might catch it by surprise, you have to make sure that you are prepared for a battle, so to speak. Justify what you're able to do. And in the future, the learning lesson from this is that if you are making any sort of change, whether it's work or personal, or whatever else, and it's all for the right good, sometimes you have to make sure you can justify it, because there's always going to be someone who's going to challenge you on it, and perhaps either to drag you behind and don't want you to succeed personally or professionally, or they're just haters and they just want to cause problems. But the better you are prepared when you make such sort of changes that you can back it up, the more swifter it's going to be moved on, and you can move on, and you will feel good about it. And I hope that message sort of makes sense. The other thing I'm picking up here is that the Seven of Wands also is the feeling that some Libras are having about a challenge, perhaps even of a success in some sort of personal project from an external source. So you feel that something's getting in the way of you being able to pursue your goals or your dreams, or it's putting stumbling blocks for you that's making it more difficult for you to sort of overcome obstacles. And if that's the case, then again, where your skills are going to come in is trust your intuition. Keep a strong self-confidence. Believe in what it is that you're doing, again, as long as you're doing it for the right reasons, and it's about continued self-improvement for yourself and your own responsibility. Then it's important to establish those clear boundaries and protect them, and don't let the others who or hold you back, because the universe will support you in that direction. And yes, it might be a challenge, but as long as you keep the strength and determination to keep going forward with it, and the universe is going to support you. So keep fighting for what you believe in, and confront those who oppose you and are threatening you, and just set the record straight. So in our third energy is our future energies, and here we have, it's a major arcana card, and we have the Hierophant. So angels and spirit guides, please help us understand why the Hierophant is here for our Libras and their future energies during this time frame, please. Okay. Well, we know, Libras, that the Hierophant basically is an energy that represents spiritual values and personal beliefs, and it can be correlated with a religion, a formal religion, or other sort of doctrines, but it also could just be a personal belief of your own. And it's coming up here. It's the reason why it's showing up here in your future energies are on the cusp is because some Libras may be just wanting to rediscover what your belief system is, and are wanting to get more information about what a system that you've been following, whatever that belief system in or spiritual journey is. With this energy of the Hierophant here for Libras, it's going to encourage you to learn the fundamental principles from a trusted source. So again, if you sort of were brought up on a way of thinking or a way of dealing with something, whatever it may be, and just because it was passed down through generations or whatever else, you might be finding this energy where you're wanting to learn more about it. And this card here is basically encouraging you to take a pause and research it and get the information for yourself, is what it's basically is the energy. So it's encouraging you to either work with a teacher or a mentor or a guide that can help you sort of teach you about the spiritual values, whatever spiritual values mean to you, and beliefs in more of a structured way. And this could be someone of an authority, or just someone that you know who has experience in the topic that you're looking at, to help you. The goal is to help you increase your own internal spiritual awareness and what it is that you believe in for yourself. And the intent is to help you understand the divine understanding of traditions and core principles. And so this could be something as a traditional family, uh, you know, process or an activity that you've been doing for years, and now, why are you doing it? And it's okay to question things, but this is about trying to find out more more deep basic understanding and more specific information, instead of going just by what someone has told you, over your life. It's learning more about it so you have a deeper understanding. um, so, if you've, and I think for some Libras, if you particularly have already mastered this topic, or whatever it is, it could be yoga, philosophy, or something like that, then might be finding yourself that you're going to be taking on the sort of a role of a formal or informal teacher or a mentor of others who are seeking some sort of guidance. Perhaps you're great at meditation every morning, and someone else wants to learn it. Then you can guide them, and that's that experience. So those are the two energies that come from this. So and you're going to feel honored to and want to acknowledge your responsibility to be able to help somebody else who's asking you for assistance or guidance, or consultation, whether it's formal or informal. Um, Understand that, Libra, that the Hierophant is uh, about honoring your family traditions and sacred rituals, whatever they are. So you're being asked in this energy here is to sort of commit to a spiritual practice, whatever spiritual means to you, um, and in its most wholesome form. It's not about customizing it or adapting it or bending the rules or whatever else. This is, particularly if you've sort of grown up with the lack of full understanding of the ritual or what the tradition was. It's going to encourage you to sort of create a regular practice that works for you, such as it could be a daily prayer, it could be daily meditation, it could be daily breathing exercises, it could be daily walk, anything that sort of helps you get in tune to yourself, and help you explore what has meaning to you and your personal beliefs. Um, when the Hierophant, card here, this energy comes in, it also can also participate in a group membership. So if you're a part of an institution, or some sort of system, whether it's a meditation group or yoga group or a formal church or a formal study group or whatever it is, where there's other individuals involved, then it's a collaborative spirit, and this is something that you might want to partake in as well, because you might hang out with people who think the way you are, or trying to learn a process that you want to learn. But whatever it is, the energy in the future is just sort of you understanding, wanting to gain more information and more facts, so to speak, of whatever a tradition or a spiritual sort of path that you want to follow, or you want to re-examine. That's the energy that I'm picking up. In our fourth card, we have another major arcana card, and we have the Devil card. Now, keep in mind, if you're familiar with tarot, the Devil card is not mean or sinister. It has nothing to do with that. And we'll explain here. So, angels and spirit guides, please help us understand for our Librans why the Devil card is showing up in their challenging energies, please, during this time frame. Okay. Well, Libras, it's very interesting that the Devil card here represents sort of a shadow, the dark. We have two sides, our bubbly side, and we have a darker side. And for whatever reason, and think of it that way. So when the Devil card is appearing here, it's about more of your shadow side, the darker side. It's about the negative forces that constrain you, and at times hold you back, Libra, from being the best version of yourself. this could be, negative habits that are coming back. It could be some sort of dependency, whether it's any sort of dependency, from relationship dependency, drug dependency, food dependency, um, media dependency, whatever. But it's something that's sort of taking over for you and not necessarily in your best interest. Um, and it's sort of stopping you or preventing you from being the best version of yourself. So, um, if you found, Libras, that you're let's say you're trapped between a short-term pleasure, and a longer-term pain that you've experienced, you have to sort of make a decision of which path is it that you want to take. uh, and a better way to you think about it is that, do you want instant gratification now, even if it's not in your best interest, or do you want a longer term well-being that's more positive? And that's one way to sort of think of it. So if you are taking the more instant gratification road, and uh, the here and now, and knowing that it's think of it this way: it's like going to the store, and you only have $100 on you, and you're supposed to buy food and groceries, and you go by some store and you see some gift thing that you really don't need, but you decide at the last minute that you're going to buy this toy, and forego buying food. Um, that sort of instant gratification, and that's sort of the temptations that is an example here with the double card. So the energy and this is why it's in your challenges right now, is that you is to be aware of these challenges, and you can prevent it. So with the double card showing up in your challenges, this is, sometimes you want to be mindful of that. You could be tricked into thinking that you have no control over your shadow self, and that this sort of negative self-talk, or negative opinion, or pattern, or habit, that you can't break free from it. It could be negative talk, self-talk, and if you sort of have been sort of taught to believe, or grown to believe, that you need it and you must have it, even if it means going against what is right to obtain it. It could be involved in a relationship that's horrible for you, or you're having an affair that is horrible for you, and can break everything down. You sort of have to understand that deep down, though it's your own detriment. If you're only going to do it, if you're doing it for you to hurt yourself and others, you're doing a disservice for it, and you know deep down that you're doing yourself a disservice, because it goes against everything that you want it to be, or you wouldn't be having these thoughts. You wouldn't be feeling bad about it. You wouldn't be feeling angry or upset, or or hateful of yourself to some degree, or even feeling resentment. All those sort of negative thoughts are usually around something that you're not feeling very good about doing, but you're doing it anyway. Um, the good thing about the devil card here, Libras, is that you have an opportunity when it's showing up here in your challenges, that you can break free of these negative patterns. You need to acknowledge the hold that they have over you. So, and that's the first thing, is you have to be honest with yourself about whatever it is that is this negative pattern is. And then once you acknowledge that what it is, and what the impact it is having on your life, whether it's even short term or long term, or repeated patterns that are affecting your life. Um, Remember, it's sort of like the first step in Alcoholics Anonymous, is the admission of, we've admitted that we're powerless and over alcohol, and that my life has been unmanageable. It's that sort of thing. You have to acknowledge the negative thing that's happening to you, and then what it is doing to you. That's the first thing. Acknowledge it to yourself. Write it down in a journal. Um, when the devil card shows up here in this tarot reading of your challenges, Libra, it's bringing you an opportunity to bring these negative influences into your conscious awareness, and then your choice is, you can take the action to set yourself free from it, and free from their hold. This is your opportunity to shine the light on those negative patterns that have been standing in your way for way too long and over time, and allow them to loosen their grip that they have on you. And that's the good thing about the Devil card, it's an opportunity to change those negative habits, whatever they are. Um, and given that the Devil, card is a major arcana card in a tarot reading, it's unlikely that you'll be free from these addictions or these dependencies overnight. So you have to understand, be patient. It's not going to happen overnight, particularly if it's a reoccurring pattern for you. So it will take probably a lot of energy, a lot of time, a lot of mindfulness, and a lot of willpower and strength to free yourself from these negative influences that are happening for you, and whatever they are for you. But you have to know with the Devil card here that it is possible to free yourself from them, and it's up to you to make it happen. On the positive side with the Devil card, this also can show that a powerful attachment for people. There could be a powerful attachment within relationships, such as a mom and her newborn, or a new romances in the honeymoon phase. If this is happening for you for some Libras, then you have to be careful, because the Devil card, this is about having an unhealthy attachment to something, people, or things. So, and understanding that when you get something new, or something new comes into you, it can be any sort of unhealthy attachment. And I mean, think of it even as you get a new iPhone, and all of a sudden you're spending all your time focusing on your iPhone and not focusing on your relationship or your kids or your friends, because you're so absolved in this. Or you open a new Instagram account and it's all about you, and you don't care about who else is going on. Any sort of negative, overboard interaction. That's what you want to be aware of. You want to be aware that you don't go to that unhealthy extreme of whatever it is that you're doing. And so the Devil card here in your challenges is asking you to be mindful of that, so that you don't get it out of hand. And you don't want to create sort of unhealthy attachments, or codependent relationships, or dependency on something, whether it's a tangible or non-tangible thing. And you don't want to be able to lose the connection of your inner guidance. And particularly, you want to protect your own personal boundaries. And that's what this is about, the Devil card. For some Libras as well, that the Devil card can also represent sexuality, particularly a wild side. So for some Libras, if you're exploring on the sexual side of things, a bondage, a fetishes, or you have these sort of deep, dark fantasies, understand that it can be okay, as long as it's done within a safe and sacred space, and it's done with a legal partner, if that's what you're doing with. And it can be a very enriching experience. However, with the Devil card here in this energy, you have to be mindful of the potential that something that you like can go into something that could be unhealthy for you, and go in a different direction than what you want. So it's about establishing clear boundaries. And when it comes to particularly of sort of sexual fantasies, or whatever, that if you are involved with a partner, or you've met somebody with a partner, you want to be able to have you really want to have clear boundaries, and you want to trust that person that you're with. So again, think of the Devil card as something as you either have a bad habit that you need to break because it's not in your best interest, or you're involved in something that has a potential to overcome you and sort of take over. It's about being mindful of that. And finally, in our fifth card, you will love this. This is your outcomes. You have another major arcana card here, Libras, and sorry about the glare. This is the Sun, and this is a great card to have, and particularly in your outcomes. Angel and Spirit guides, please help us understand why the Sun is shining on our Libras and their outcomes during this time frame, please. Okay, well, as I said, the Sun is a wonderful card to have, Libra, and particularly as it's in your outcomes energies during this time frame. So keep in mind here, Libras, that the Sun represents success, it's radiance, it's abundance. The Sun is going to give you an energy of strength, and it's going to give you that feeling that no matter where you go or what you do, you're going to radiate positivity, and you're going to radiate energy that's going to flow you and bring you happiness and joy. And that's wonderful about the Sun card here. So even if you have some things here in your other readings that you need to address, the outcomes here, which is what your sun card is that you're going to be able to get through it. Even if it's a little painful, but you will get through it, and that's the outcome energy card here. So you understand that even if it's tough, you're going to succeed, and that's the light at the end of the tunnel for you to understand here in this reading is what I'm picking up here. So it's going to encourage you to radiate, who you are and what you stand for, and shine your love and to those that you care about. And again, it's about being the best version of yourself. And if you're not familiar with laws of attraction, it's again, YouTube has tons of videos on it. Positivity attracts positivity. So you have to be careful what you think and how you feel. Be appreciative of the small things in life and what brings you joy. And again, be loving and kind. I mean, you can't ask for anything better. The sun energy here in your outcomes, this connects to a power base. It's an energy that's not fear driven. It's not based on egotistical power. It's about an abundant inner energy that radiates through you right now, or has been going through you, and it's you can call it your sort of solar plexus chakra, but it's encouraging you, and you're going to be finding yourself to want to be able to express yourself authentically, and to be fully present in the world around you and to those who are important to you, and you want to tap into that power, and you want to use that divine energy to express yourself in positive ways, and this is in everything that you do. It's a great energy for outcomes. The Sun card also is an energetic card, and you're going to it's going to I guess the word I'm thinking is just you're going to be experiencing a lot of things, and it's going to increase that physical energy, your vitality. It's going to increase your sense of positivity. You're going to find yourself in many ways sort of bursting with that enthusiasm and feel invigorated, and you want to enjoy a wonderful, good sense of health. So again, everything is in balance, but you have the sun here really supporting you in the universe, and but keep in mind, you also have to do your work too, and that is that be positive, think positive, be grateful, be thankful, be appreciative. All those things have a key factor in the outcomes that you have here. So there you have it. Libras, I hope this was helpful. If anything, if any information was helpful to you, please leave a comment below. I would love to hear it. Keep in mind, again, if it didn't resonate with you, or not, part of it didn't resonate with you, understand it's a general reading, and just let it go. It's meant for somebody else. So again, I thank you very much. If you've already liked the video and have subscribed to my channel, I thank you for your support. And if you haven't, please consider to do so. It would mean a lot. So with that, I hope Libras, you have a wonderful rest of February, and we will see you in March, and enjoy. Thank you.